The stone walls of the castle are incredibly thick, and they hold a deep, ancient cold that seems to radiate from the very heart of the masonry. It is a slow and steady cold that moves through the air like a heavy curtain. The guard stands near the wall and feels the chill against his shoulder, but he does not shiver, because he has prepared for this moment for many hours. The preparation for sleep in the medieval guardroom is a ritual of layers and insulation that begins with the linen against the skin. The linen is rough and undyed, and it sits close to the body to trap the first layer of warmth that the skin releases. It is a simple fabric that smells faintly of dried herbs and wood ash from the washing tub. Over the linen comes the wool, which is the true savior of the night. The wool is heavy and dense and woven so tightly that the wind finds it difficult to pass through the fibers. The guard wears a tunic of this gray wool that falls to his knees and gathers at the waist with a leather belt that is cracked with age. The belt holds the wool close to the torso to prevent the warm air from escaping up towards the vaulted stone ceiling. The ceiling is lost in the shadows above, where the smoke from the small brazier drifts lazily in the stagnant air. The brazier is a small iron basket filled with glowing coals that have turned mostly to gray ash. The coals pulse with a faint orange light that barely illuminates the room. It is not a fire meant for roaring heat, but rather a subtle warmth that takes the edge off the freezing air. The guard moves towards the corner of the room where the sleeping pallet lies. The pallet is not a bed, but a sack of heavy canvas stuffed with straw. The straw is dry and brittle, and it rustles with a sound like dry leaves blowing across a stone courtyard whenever weight is placed upon it. The straw is crucial because it lifts the sleeper off the cold stone floor. The floor is made of flagstones that have been smoothed by centuries of boots, and they are colder than ice. To sleep directly on the stone would be to invite a sickness of the lungs, so the straw mattress acts as a barrier. The guard sits on the edge of the mattress and begins to untie his boots. The boots are stiff leather, and the laces are made of rawhide that resists the fingers. He works slowly and methodically. He removes the left boot and then the right boot and places them neatly beside the wall. He does not remove his wool hose, which cover his legs and feet. The hose are thick and itchy, but they are necessary for survival in the deep winter nights. He rubs his feet to circulate the blood and then reaches for his cloak. The cloak is the most important piece of equipment for the sleeping guard. It is a massive circle of thick felted wool that has been boiled to make it waterproof and windproof. It is heavy like a weighted blanket. He wraps the cloak around himself like a cocoon. He lies down on the straw mattress, and the straw crunches and shifts to accommodate the shape of his hip and shoulder. The room is silent except for the faint popping of the coals in the brazier and the sound of the wind outside the narrow slit window. The window has no glass, but it is covered by a wooden shutter that is barred shut. The wind whistles through the cracks in the wood, but the draft is stopped by a heavy tapestry that hangs over the opening. The tapestry is old and faded and depicts a hunting scene that no one can see in the dark. It is dusty and smells of mildew, but it stops the breeze. The guard pulls his knees up to his chest in the fetal position to conserve heat. This is the way they all sleep. He pulls the edge of his heavy cloak up over his ear and leaves only his nose and mouth exposed to the air. The air in the room is still and cool. He breathes in slowly, and the air feels crisp in his nose. He breathes out, and a small cloud of steam forms in the darkness, but he does not see it. He closes his eyes and listens to the silence of the castle. The stone walls absorb sound just as they absorb heat, The castle is a massive thermal mass that changes temperature very slowly. In the summer it stays cool, and in the winter it stays cold. But the guard is warm inside his layers. The lanolin in the wool smells distinct and earthy. It is the smell of sheep and fields and rain. The weight of the cloak presses down on him and makes him feel secure. He shifts slightly, and the straw rustles again. He thinks about the other guards in the room. There are 2 others sleeping nearby. They are just dark mounds of wool and shadow. Their breathing is slow and rhythmic. Sometimes one of them snores softly, a sound that resonates slightly against the stone floor. The collective body heat of the men helps to raise the temperature of the room by a few degrees. It is a shared warmth. There is also a dog sleeping near the brazier. It is a large wolfhound with wiry fur that smells of wet earth. The dog is a living heater. Sometimes, if the night is truly freezing, a guard will sleep with the dog curled against his back. The heat transfer from the animal is significant and comforting. But tonight the guard is alone on his pallet. He feels the rough texture of the canvas beneath his cheek. It is not soft, but it is dry. Dampness is the enemy. If the straw were damp, it would suck the heat from his body. So the straw is changed regularly and kept dry near the fire during the day. The guard feels his toes beginning to warm up inside the wool hose. The blood is returning to the extremities. He relaxes his jaw. He relaxes his shoulders. The tension of the watch leaves his body. He is safe within the walls. The walls are 6 feet thick. Nothing can get in. The cold is kept at bay by the physics of insulation. The air pockets trapped between the fibers of the wool hold the heat of his body. The air pockets trapped in the hollow stalks of the straw in the mattress hold the heat. It is a system of trapped air. He lies very still to maintain the pocket of warm air he has created inside his cloak. If he moves too much, he will pump the warm air out and let the cold air in. So he learns to sleep like a stone. He does not toss and turn. He finds a position and holds it. The stillness is part of the sleep. The darkness is absolute. There is no light pollution here. When the embers in the brazier die down, the room will be pitch black. The darkness is heavy and restful. It feels like a physical weight on the eyelids. The guard's breathing becomes shallow and slow, in and out, in and out. The rhythm matches the slow movement of the air through the chimney. The chimney is narrow to prevent too much heat from escaping. The design of the fireplace is efficient. The stones around the hearth absorb the heat of the fire during the day and release it slowly at night. It is a primitive radiator. The guard can feel the faint radiation from across the room. It is just enough. He drifts deeper into relaxation. He thinks of the morning. In the morning there will be hot pottage, oats and broth. It will warm him from the inside. But for now, he must stay warm from the outside. He tucks his hands into his armpits to keep his fingers warm. The wool of his tunic is scratchy against his wrists, but he does not mind. The scratchiness is a reminder of the protection it offers. The silence stretches on. Hours pass. The castle settles. Timber beams contract in the cold, making occasional creaking sounds that echo in the vaulted halls. But the guard room is quiet. The floor is solid. The guard sleeps the sleep of the weary. He is conserving energy. His metabolic rate slows down. His body creates a microclimate within the cloak. The temperature inside the cloak is perhaps 70 degrees, while the room is 40 degrees. It is a perfect balance. He is a master of thermal regulation. He knows how to adjust the layers. If he gets too warm, he opens the cloak slightly. If he gets cold, he pulls it tighter. It is an instinctual dance with the temperature. The straw beneath him compresses slowly. He is heavy with sleep. The world outside the castle walls does not exist. The wind howling across the frozen moat does not matter. The snow piling up against the portcullis does not matter. Only the warmth matters. The warmth of the wool, the warmth of the straw, the warmth of the breath. He is suspended in time. The medieval night is long. There are no clocks to watch. There is only the passage of the moon and the burning of the coals. The guard sleeps without dreaming. His mind is a blank slate of gray stone and gray wool. The texture of the night is woven fabric. The sound of the night is a slow exhale. Everything is slow. Everything is heavy. The gravity seems stronger here in the stone room. It pulls him down into the straw. He sinks deeper. The cold is a fortress that he defends against with blankets and hay. He is winning the battle. He is warm. He is safe. He is asleep. The cycle continues. The breath comes and goes. The heart beats slowly. The stone walls stand guard over him, just as he stood guard over them. It is a symbio. The ash in the brazier settles with a microscopic movement that makes no sound. The heat from the coals has diminished, but the memory of the fire remains in the iron bars of the basket. The guard shifts his weight almost imperceptibly on the straw mattress. The canvas fabric of the mattress is rough against his hip, but the wool of his hose protects the skin. He is deep in the middle watch of the night. The darkness in the room has thickened as the firelight has faded. It is a velvet darkness that presses against the eyes. The only reference point is the faint gray line of the shuttered window where the moonlight tries to find a way in. The moonlight is cold and pale. It reflects off the snow outside and creates a ghostly luminescence that barely penetrates the tapestry. The guard breathes in the cool air and feels it travel down his throat. The air is dry and carries the scent of old stone dust. The stone dust is everywhere. It is in the cracks of the floor and the pores of the walls. It is the smell of time itself. The guard is part of this stillness. His heartbeat is slow and steady like a drum beating deep underwater. He does not dream of battles or glory. He dreams of nothing. His mind is a calm lake with no ripples. The heavy cloak is a weight that anchors him to the earth. The wool fibers of the cloak are interlocked in a chaotic tangle that traps the heat. He pulls the edge of the cloak tighter around his neck. The neck is a vulnerable point where heat can escape. He knows this instinctively. He tucks his chin down into the folds of the wool. The wool scratches his chin slightly, but the sensation is grounding. It reminds him that he is here and he is warm. The silence of the castle is not truly silent if one listens closely enough. There is the low hum of the wind passing over the chimney pots high above. There is the faint scratching of a mouse in the rushes on the floor of the great hall far away. But here in the guardroom, there is only the sound of breathing. The other guards breathe in a counterpoint rhythm. One exhales while the other inhales. It is a slow song of sleep. The dog by the fire lets out a long sigh and stretches its legs. The claws of the dog click once against the stone hearth. Then silence returns. The guard feels the warmth of his own body reflecting back at him from the inside of the cloak. It is a self-sustaining cycle of heat. The energy comes from the bread and cheese he ate hours ago. The digestion creates heat. The wool traps the heat. The straw insulates the heat. It is a perfect equation for survival. The cold stone floor is an infinite sink for heat, but the straw stops it. The straw is golden and hollow. It was harvested in the late summer when the sun was hot. It holds the memory of the sun. The guard lies on the memory of the summer sun while the winter wind howls outside. He is suspended between the seasons. He moves his foot slightly inside the thick wool hose. The toes are warm. The blood flows freely to the tips of the toes. This is a victory against the frost. Outside, the frost is forming on the battlements. It coats the stone in a layer of white crystals that sparkle in the moon. The frost is sharp and biting. But inside the guard room, the air is tempered. It is not warm like a bakery, but it is not deadly like the wall. It is a neutral zone, a sanctuary. The guard's eyelids are heavy. They feel like lead weights. He could not open them if he wanted to. The sleep is a deep ocean, and he is sinking to the bottom. The pressure of the sleep is comforting. It wraps around his mind and squeezes out all the thoughts. There is no tomorrow. There is no yesterday. There is only the sensation of the wool and the straw. The sensation is constant. It does not change. It is boring in the most beautiful way. The boredom is a blanket. It smooths out the edges of the world. The guard is a statue made of flesh and wool. He does not move. He barely breathes. He is conserving every ounce of energy. The night is long, and he has hours left to rest. The rotation of the earth is slow. The stars wheel overhead in their fixed orbits. The castle turns with the earth. The guard turns with the castle. He is a passenger on a giant stone ship sailing through the frozen night. The ship is silent. The crew is asleep. The captain is asleep. Only the stone is awake. The stone holds the cold, and the stone holds the weight. The guard trusts the stone. He trusts the wool. He trusts the straw. He lets go of the last bit of tension in his lower back. The muscles lengthen and relax. The spine settles into the straw. The vertebrae align. The body becomes heavy. The connection to the waking world is severed. He is floating in the dark. The dark is warm. The dark is soft. The dark is kind. The brazier gives a tiny pop as a piece of coal fractures. The sound is dull and muffled. It does not wake the guard. It just becomes part of the texture of the sleep. The smell of the coal smoke is faint and sulphurous. It mixes with the smell of the wool and the straw and the stone. It is the scent of safety. The guard knows this scent. He has known it all his life. It is the scent of home. He drifts deeper. The layers of consciousness peel away one by one. The first layer is the sound of the wind. That fades away. The second layer is the sensation of the straw. That fades away. The third layer is the feeling of the cold on his nose. That fades away. Now there is only the core, the warm center, the spark of life glowing in the dark. It burns slowly and steadily. It does not flicker. It is sustained by the rest. The rest is absolute. The rest is total. The guard is one with the silence. The silence is a physical presence. It fills the corners of the room. It fills the space under the bed. It fills the space between the threads of the wool. The silence is the blanket that covers everything. The guard sleeps. The castle sleeps. The world sleeps. The snow continues to fall outside. It falls in silence. It piles up on the window ledge. It creates another layer of insulation. The snow is white and soft and cold, but the guard does not feel it. He only feels the wool. the rough, heavy, thick, warm wool. It is his armor against the night, and the armor holds. The defense is successful, the cold is defeated, the sleep is the victor. The long, slow, boring sleep wins. The moon tracks across the sky in a slow arc that no one watches. The beam of light on the floor moves an inch every hour. It is a slow clock made of light and stone. The guard remains motionless. His boots are drying by the wall. The leather releases a faint smell of tannins and grease. The grease keeps the leather supple and waterproof. It is a mixture of animal fat and beeswax. The smell is familiar and comforting. The air in the room is stratified. The warmer air rises to the ceiling where the shadows live. The colder air sinks to the floor where the straw waits. The guard lies in the middle zone, the zone of equilibrium. He is balanced between the stone and the air. His breathing is the only clock that matters. Inhale, exhale. The chest rises against the weight of the wool. The chest falls and the wool settles back down. The friction between the layers of cloth generates a microscopic amount of heat. Every movement counts. Every breath counts. The guard's hand is tucked near his chest. His fingers are relaxed. They do not grip a sword. They do not hold a spear. They hold nothing. They are empty and warm. The calluses on his palms are softening in the warmth. The skin is recovering from the cold of the day. The body is repairing itself. The sleep is a medicine. The silence is a bandage. The castle is a hospital for the weary. The heavy oak door of the guard room is shut tight. The wood is 4 inches thick. It is studded with iron nails. The iron is cold and black. The wood is dark and old. It blocks the noise from the corridor. It blocks the draft from the stairs. It is a barrier against the world. Inside the barrier, there is peace. The peace is thick and heavy. It feels like a liquid that fills the ears. The guard floats in the peace. He is buoyant. He is weightless. The straw mattress supports him completely. There are no pressure points. The straw distributes his weight evenly. It is a primitive memory foam. The canvas cover is worn smooth in the center. It conforms to the body. The guard's head rests on a bundle of spare clothes he uses as a pillow. The clothes are soft and smell of sage. The sage keeps the moths away. It also smells like the summer fields. The scent triggers a memory of warmth, but the memory is faint. It is just a feeling, the feeling of the sun on the face. The guard does not wake up. He stays in the dark. The dark is his friend. The dark hides the cracks in the wall. The dark hides the soot on the ceiling. The dark makes everything perfect and smooth. The temperature of the room drops another degree as the night deepens. But the guard does not feel it. His insulation is sufficient. The cloak is a masterpiece of engineering. The felted wool is impervious. The fibers are matted together so tightly that water cannot pass. Wind cannot pass. Cold cannot pass. It is a shield. The guard is the night, and the cloak is the shield. The enemy is the winter. The battle is silent. The guard is winning. He is warm. The warmth is a golden glow in the center of his chest. It radiates outward to his shoulders and his hips. It reaches his in slow tide of warmth. It ebbs and flows with his pulse. The pulse is slow. Thump, thump, thump. It is the rhythm of the earth. The guard is connected to the earth through the stone and the straw. He is part of the geology of the castle. He is as still as a gargoyle, but he is warm inside. The gargoyles outside are frozen solid. They stare blindly into the snow. The guard sleeps blindly in the wool. He is better off than the gargoyles. He has the fire of life. He keeps the fire burning by doing nothing. He conserves the fuel. He lies still. The hours stretch out like a long road. The road is flat and straight. There are no turns. There are no hills. It is an easy road to travel. He travels it in his sleep. The destination is the morning, but there is no rush to arrive. The journey is the sleep. The sleep is the destination. The guard sinks deeper into the mattress. The straw rustles one last time and then settles into silence. The silence is complete. The world stops spinning. There is only the room, the wool, the warmth, the breath, the guard, the sleep. The snow outside thickens. The flakes are large and wet. They stick to the stone walls. They fill the arrow slits. The castle is being wrapped in a white blanket. The white blanket muffles the sound of the wind. The world becomes even quieter. The quiet is profound. It is a heavy silence that presses against the eardrums. It is the sound of deep winter. The guard's breathing slows down even more. He is in the deepest phase of sleep now. His muscles are completely limp. His face is smooth. There is no tension in his jaw. The furrow between his brows is gone. He is young again in his sleep. The lines of worry are erased by the relaxation. The wool cloak rises and falls with a microscopic motion. The air inside the cloak is tropical compared to the room. It is humid and warm. It is a microclimate of comfort. The guard is an island of heat in a sea of cold stone. The stone floor radiates cold, but the straw intercepts it. The straw is a hero. The dry stalks of wheat that once waved in the wind are now serving a new purpose. They are dead airspace. They are insulation. The guard is sleeping on a field of wheat. He is sleeping on the harvest. The harvest protects him. The cycle of the seasons protects him. The summer protects the winter. The guard turns his head slightly to the left. The movement is slow and languid. The wool rubs against his cheek. It is not soft like silk, but it is soft enough. It is the texture of safety. The smell of the wool is stronger now as his body heat releases the oils in the fabric. It smells of the flock. It smells of the hills. It smells of the rain. It is a primal scent that speaks to the hindbrain. It says, you are safe. It says the predator cannot see you. It says you are warm. The guard believes the scent. He trusts the wool implicitly. The night continues its slow march. The constellations rotate around the pole star. The Great Bear dips low towards the horizon. The guard does not see the stars. He only sees the back of his eyelids. The darkness is restful. It is a break from the visual input of the day. No glare, no movement, no scanning the horizon for danger. The eyes rest. The optic nerve rests. The brain rests. The thoughts dissolve like sugar in hot water. They disappear into the warmth. There is no anxiety. There is no fear. There is only the sensation of existence. I am here. I am warm. I am sleeping. This is the mantra of the body. The heart pumps the blood. The lungs exchange the air. The cells repair the damage. The process is automatic. It requires no effort. The guard is a passenger in his own body. The body knows what to do. The body knows how to sleep. The body craves the sleep. The sleep is the fuel for the next day. But the next day is far away. It is miles away across the plain of the night. For now there is only the present moment. The moment is stretched thin. It lasts for an hour. It lasts for a minute. Time has no meaning here. The stone walls do not care about time. They have stood for 300 years. They will stand for 300 more. The guard is just a fleeting moment in the life of the stone. But the stone protects him all the same. The stone is indifferent, but reliable. It holds the roof up. It keeps the snow out. It defines the space. The space is a cube of darkness. The guard lies in the center of the cube. He is the kernel in the shell. The shell is hard. The kernel is soft. The sleep preserves the kernel. The embers in the brazier are now just a dull red memory. They provide no light. They provide almost no heat. The room is cooling down to its base temperature. The guard's body compensates. The blood vessels in his skin constrict slightly to keep the blood in the core. The vital organs stay warm. The guard does not wake up. He does not shiver. His preparation was too good. The layers of linen and wool and felt are doing. The silence deepens into the hours before dawn, which are the coldest and the quietest hours of all. The castle seems to hold its breath, as if waiting for the sun, which is still far below the eastern horizon. The guard lies suspended in this waiting silence. The weight of the wool cloak has settled even further around him, compressing the air pockets into thin layers of warmth that cling to his skin. He does not move a muscle. His limbs feel heavy and distinct as if they are made of lead. The sensation of heaviness is a sign of deep relaxation. The muscles have let go of all the tension from standing and walking and carrying the spear. The tendons are loose. The joints are open. The body is a landscape of rest. The straw mattress has stopped rustling because there is no movement to cause friction. The straw is still. The canvas is still. The floor is still. The dust motes that float in the air during the day have all settled onto the cold stone surfaces. They form a fine gray layer on the floor and the window ledge. The dust sleeps too. The air in the room is now the same temperature as the stones in the wall. It is a dry and clean cold that preserves things. It preserves the wood of the benches and the leather of the boots. It preserves the sleep of the guard. He breathes in the cold air, and it warms up before it reaches his lungs. His nose is a heat exchanger. The tip of his nose is cold, but he does not feel it. The rest of him is buried in the sanctuary of the cloak. The cloak is a cave. He is the bear hibernating in the cave. The winter outside is harsh and unforgiving, but inside the cave it is safe. The concept of time has vanished completely. There is no way to measure the passing minutes in the dark. A minute could be an hour. An hour could be a second. It does not matter. The sleep is a continuous state of being. It is a long, dark tunnel with soft walls. The guard travels down the tunnel. He is alone, but he is not lonely. The solitude is peaceful. It is a relief from the noise of the barracks and the shouting of orders. Here there are no orders. There is only the command of the body to rest. The body obeys. The heart beats slow and strong. Thump, thump, thump. It pushes the warm blood to the surface of the skin where it meets the wool. The wool reflects the warmth back. The cycle is unbroken. The guard's dreams are formless and vague. They are just colors and feelings. A feeling of floating, a color of gray, a sense of warmth. These are the simple dreams of a deep sleeper. The mind is decluttering itself. It is sweeping out the dust of the day. The process is silent and efficient. The guard will wake up clear and refreshed. But not yet. Now is the time for stillness. The stone walls of the castle are like the sides of a deep well. The guard is at the bottom of the well. The stars are high above at the top of the well, but he cannot see them. He is safe at the bottom. The gravity holds him down. The earth holds him up. He is sandwiched between the forces of nature. He is secure. The smell of the room has changed slightly as the fire has died out completely. Now it smells only of cold ash and wool and stone. It is a clean smell. It is an elemental smell. It clears the head. The guard breathes it in. He breathes it out. The rhythm is hypnotic. If there were a clock in the room, its ticking would sound like a hammer in this silence. But there is no clock. There is only the silence. The silence rings in the ears. It is a white noise of nothingness. It blocks out the world. The guard is insulated by silence, just as he is insulated by wool. The two insulations work together. One protects the body and one protects the mind. The guard is doubly protected. He sinks a little deeper into the straw. His shoulder adjusts almost imperceptibly to a softer spot. The comfort is absolute. There is no discomfort anywhere in his body. He is perfectly aligned. He is perfectly warm. He is perfectly asleep. The heavy oak beams of the ceiling stand rigid in the dark. They hold the weight of the floor above. They do not complain. They do not move. They are like the guard. They are strong and silent and still. The castle is a structure of stillness. The movement of the people during the day is just a temporary disturbance. The night restores the natural state of the stone. The natural state is silence. The guard is returning to the natural state. He is becoming like the stone. He is becoming like the wood. He is becoming part of the silence. The world outside is vast and cold and dark. The forests are frozen. The rivers are frozen. The roads are empty. No one travels at this hour. The world belongs to the sleepers. The guard is part of a vast army of sleepers. They are all lying in their beds of straw and wool. They are all warm. They are all safe. The shared experience of sleep connects them. The guard breathes in unison with the sleeping world. The air flows in, the air flows out. The chest rises, the chest falls. It is the tide of life. It ebbs and flows in the dark. The darkness is a comfort. It is a soft blanket for the eyes. It rests the vision. The guard does not need to see. He only needs to feel. He feels the warmth. He feels the heavy cloak. He feels the stillness. That is enough. That is everything. The night is a long, slow river, and he is drifting on the current. The current is gentle. It carries him towards the morning, but very slowly. There is no rush to get there. The journey is pleasant. The sleep is the journey. The guard is a traveler in the land of rest. He explores the valleys of deep sleep. He climbs the mountains of dreams. He floats on the lakes of silence. He is free. He is warm. He is asleep. The cold stone floor waits patiently. The heavy wool cloak waits patiently. The morning waits patiently. Everything waits. Everything is still. The peace is total. The guard sleeps on in the heart of the stone castle, wrapped in the wool of the sheep, safe from the winter night. The air in the room is now completely still, as if it has turned to solid glass. The guard is preserved inside this block of silence. He does not move. The wool cloak is a dark mound on the floor that looks like a boulder covered in moss. Underneath the mound there is life and heat, but it is hidden deep down. The guard's breathing is so shallow that it hardly disturbs the fibers of the cloak. He is in a state of suspended animation. The body has shut down all non-essential systems. The digestion is finished. The thinking is finished. There is only maintenance. The maintenance of the temperature. The maintenance of the blood flow. It is a biological machine running on low power. The efficiency is beautiful. The guard is a master of sleep without knowing it. He has practiced this every night for 10 years. The castle is his training ground. The cold is his trainer. He has learned to respect the cold. He treats it with caution. He never underestimates the draft. He never underestimates the damp. He seals himself in. The linen shirt against his skin has absorbed the moisture of the night and kept him dry. The wool tunic has trapped the air. The cloak has deflected the chill. It is a defense in depth. The enemy has not breached the walls. The guard is safe. The darkness begins to change its quality very slightly. It is no longer the pitch black of the middle night, but the charcoal gray of the early morning. It is a subtle shift that the eyes feel rather than see. The rods and cones in the retina detect the change in the energy of the room. The sun is still far below the horizon, but its influence is beginning to bleed into the sky. The guard does not see this. He is still deep in the internal world. The internal world is soft and warm. It is lined with fur and felt. It is a womb of comfort. The straw mattress has become part of his body. He cannot tell where his hip ends and the straw begins. The pressure is equalized. The boundary is dissolved. He is floating on a cloud of dried wheat. The wheat whispers to him in the language of silence. It tells him to stay down. It tells him to rest. The morning will bring work. It will bring the sharpening of swords and the polishing of armor. It will bring the cold wind on the battlements. But that is not now. Now is the time for the wool. The guard obeys the wheat and the wool. He stays down. He sinks deeper. The heaviness of his limbs is pleasant. It is a good heaviness. It is the weight of relaxation. If he tried to lift his arm, it would feel like lifting a log. So he does not try. He lets the arm lie still. The fingers are curled loosely. The thumb touches the index finger. The skin is warm. The pulse in the wrist is a slow metronome. Tick, tick, tick. It measures the vast empty spaces of the morning. The castle is a ship becalmed on a frozen ocean. There is no wind in the sails. There is no motion in the hull. The ship sits in the ice. The guard sits in the sleep. The parallel is exact. The stillness is shared. The stone floor is waiting for the boots of the day shift, but they are not here yet. The silence is yours. It belongs to the guard. He drinks it in. It nourishes his nerves. It smooths out the frayed edges of his mind. The sleep is a repair shop. The guard is being fixed. He will be new again when the sun rises. But for now he is old and heavy and asleep. The cold presses against the shutters. It wants to come in. It searches for a crack. It searches for a hole. But the tapestry stops it. The wood stops it. The wool stops it. The cold is kept outside where it belongs. The guard is the king of his warm little kingdom. The kingdom is 6 feet long and 2 feet wide. It is made of canvas and straw. It is a humble kingdom, but it is warm. That is all that matters. The warmth is the treasure. The guard guards the treasure. He holds it close to his chest. He wraps his arms around it. He does not let it go. The gray light in the room grows a fraction brighter. The outline of the brazier becomes visible. It is a dark skeleton against the gray wall. The guard does not see it. He sees nothing. He is in the void. The void is peaceful. It is not empty. It is full of rest. It is full of potential energy. The guard is charging his battery. The process is slow. It cannot be rushed. You cannot hurry sleep. You can only surrender to it. The guard has surrendered completely. He has raised the white flag. The sleep has taken him prisoner. It is a gentle captivity. The chains are made of wool. The cell is made of straw. The guard loves his prison. He does not want to escape. He wants to stay here forever, in the warm, in the dark, in the quiet. The world can wait. The wars can wait. The king can wait. The guard is busy. He is sleeping. It is important work. It is the work of survival. The winter is long. The night is long. The sleep must be long too, to match the night, to match the stone, to match the silence. The light in the room shifts from charcoal to slate gray as the sun creeps closer to the edge of the world. The gray is flat and featureless, and it coats the stones in a dull sheen. The guard remains deeply buried in his nest of layers. The wool cloak has become a second skin that he does not want to shed. The fibers of the wool have interlocked with the fibers of the straw canvas to create a friction that holds him in place. He is stuck to the bed in the most pleasant way possible. The inertia is powerful. It is a physical force that resists movement. The guard surrenders to the inertia. He accepts the weight of the gravity that pulls him down. The gravity feels stronger in the morning, as if the earth has grown heavier during the night. The guard feels heavy and dense. His bones feel like iron bars wrapped in warm velvet. His muscles are liquid and slack. There is no tension in his neck. There is no tension in his back. The knots of yesterday have been untied by the hours of stillness. The cold air in the room is now visible as a faint mist near the floor. The temperature has reached its nadir. It is the absolute zero of the medieval morning. But inside the cloak, the temperature is tropical. The guard is a capsule of heat. He preserves the heat with jealous care. He does not move a toe. He does not twitch a finger. To move would be to break the seal. The seal is sacred. It is the boundary between life and the freezing cold. The guard respects the boundary. He breathes in the mist and breathes out the warmth. The exchange is slow and rhythmic. It is the only movement in the room. The dog by the dead fire lets out a small whimper in its sleep. It is chasing a dream rabbit across a dream field. The sound is small and muffled. It does not wake the guard. It just adds another layer to the texture of the silence. The silence is a tapestry woven of small sounds. The wind, the breath, the dog, the settling stone. The guard hears it all without listening. His ears are open, but his mind is closed. The mind is a locked room. The key has been thrown away. The thoughts are locked outside. Only the peace is inside. The peace is gray and soft like the morning light. The guard floats in the peace. He is weightless in his mind, even though his body is heavy. It is a paradox of sleep. Heavy body, light spirit. The separation is complete. The guard is not his body. He is just the observer of the warmth. He observes the sensation of the wool against his chin. It is scratchy and rough. He observes the sensation of the straw against his hip. It is lumpy and hard. But he does not judge these sensations, he just accepts them. They are part of the reality of the morning. They are the anchors that keep him from floating away completely. The castle walls stand rigid against the dawn. The mortar between the stones is frozen hard. The gargoyles on the roof are capped with snow. The flag on the tower hangs limp and frozen. The entire world is locked in ice. But the guard is fluid. His blood flows warm and red. His heart pumps steady and slow. He is the liquid center of the frozen world. He is the life in the stone. The wool protects the life. The sheep gave their coats so that the guard could sleep. It is a gift from the flock. The guard accepts the gift. He wraps it tighter around him. He buries his face in the folds. The smell of the lanolin is strong and comforting. It smells of the barn and the field. It is a grounded smell. It reminds him of the earth. He is close to the earth here on his low pallet. He is humble. He is small. He is warm. The morning creeps forward by inches. The light touches the leg of the wooden bench. It touches the iron rim of the brazier. It reveals the dust on the floor. The dust is undisturbed. It is a map of the stillness. The guard is part of the map. He is a hill in the landscape of the room. A hill made of gray wool. The hill rises and falls with the breath. Up and down, up and down. The motion is soothing. It is like the rocking of a cradle. The guard is rocked by his own lungs. He lulls himself deeper into the trance. The trance is deep and boring. It is wonderfully boring. There is nothing to do. There is nothing to see. There is nothing to think. There is only to be warm, to be still, to be asleep. The guard excels at this. He is a professional sleeper. He has turned it into an art form. The art of doing absolutely nothing. The art of conservation. The art of survival. The cold tries to find a way in through the nose. It tickles the nostrils. But the body warms the air instantly. The defense is automatic. The guard does not need to issue orders. The body knows. The body protects. The guard trusts the body. He trusts the wool. He trusts the stone. He sleeps on. The sun is now touching the horizon, but the guard room is on the west side, so it remains in shadow. The shadow is long and cool. It preserves the night for a little longer. The guard is grateful for the shadow. He is not ready for the light. The light is sharp and demanding. The shadow is soft and forgiving. He stays in the shadow. He stays in the warmth. He stays in the sleep. The world can wake up without him. The rooster can crow. The baker can light his oven. The smith can strike his anvil. The guard will sleep through it all. He has earned this rest. He has stood on the wall in the biting wind. He has watched the dark horizon for enemies. Now the enemy is the cold, and he is defeating it with sleep. He is the victor. The prize is the warmth. The prize is the silence. The prize is the boring, beautiful, endless sleep that stretches out before him like a calm gray sea. The light in the room has now settled into a permanent gray haze that hangs in the air like smoke. The sun has risen somewhere in the world, but here in the stone chamber, it is only a suggestion of light. The guard remains an immovable object on the floor. His breathing has become so quiet that it is almost indistinguishable from the silence itself. The wool cloak is still wrapped tight around him, and it has not moved an inch. The folds of the heavy fabric are stiff with the cold of the room, but underneath them the air is still warm and stagnant. It is the stagnant air that keeps him alive. It is a pocket of summer trapped in the heart of winter. The guard's body is a furnace that burns on the slow fuel of sleep. He does not need to move to stay warm. He only needs to stay covered. The logic is simple and ancient. The animals know it, and the guard knows it. The straw mattress is compressed under his weight. It has lost some of its loft over the long night, but it still keeps him off the stone. The stone is patient. It waits for the heat to fail. It waits for the fire to go out. But the guard does not let the fire go out. He keeps the internal flame burning with his steady, slow pulse. The blood moves through his veins like thick syrup. It carries the warmth to every corner of his body. His fingers are warm. His toes are warm. His ears are warm. The wool hat he wears, pulled down low over his forehead, keeps the heat from escaping through his scalp. The hat is made of knitted wool that is oily and thick. It itches slightly, but the itch is a feeling of life. The guard ignores the itch. He ignores the stiffness in his shoulder. He ignores the hardness of the floor. He is focused only on the sleep. The sleep is a heavy curtain that blocks out the world. Behind the curtain, everything is soft and slow. The sounds of the castle beginning to wake up are very faint. Far away, a door slams with a dull thud. It is a heavy wooden door, closing against a stone frame. The sound travels through the walls as a vibration. The guard feels the vibration in the floor, but he interprets it as part of a dream. He does not wake up. A horse hooves clatter on the cobblestones of the courtyard below. The sound is rhythmic and sharp. Clip-clop, clip-clop. It fades away into the distance. The guard lets it go. He is not on duty. He is on rest. The rest is his duty now. He performs it with dedication. He lies perfectly still. The air in the room is still stratified with the coldest air hugging the floor where he lies. But his cocoon is impenetrable. The cold air pushes against the wool, but it cannot get in. The fibers are too dense. The felting is too thick. The guard is sealed inside a vacuum of warmth. He is a time capsule buried in the winter. The morning drags on with agonizing slowness. There is no rush in the medieval world. The sun moves at its own pace. The shadows move at their own pace. The guard sleeps at his own pace. His eyelids are glued shut by the Sandman. The lashes are still. The eyes are rolling back in the sockets in the deepest phase of rest. The brain is quiet. The thoughts are gone. There is only the sensation of existence, the sensation of weight, the sensation of the blanket. The blanket is heavy. It presses him down. It holds him safe. He feels like he is underground. He feels like a seed waiting for spring. The winter is long and hard, but the seed is safe. The guard is the seed. The cloak is the earth. The sleep is the waiting. It is a passive activity. It requires no effort. It only requires surrender. The guard has surrendered. He has given up his will to the sleep. He drifts on the dark water. The water is still and black. There is no current. He floats in the same spot. He rotates slowly in the void. The void is comfortable. It is not scary. It is just empty. And in the emptiness, there is rest. The guard rests his weary legs. He rests his tired back. He rests his cold nose. The nose is the only part of him that knows the true temperature of the room. It is cold, but the cold nose contrasts with the warm body and makes the warmth feel even sweeter. It is a reminder of what lies outside. The guard appreciates the warmth because of the cold. He appreciates the sleep because of the work. It is the balance of life. The pendulum swings from action to inaction. Now the pendulum is stopped at the far end of inaction. It hangs there. It does not swing back, not yet. The guard has more time. He has hours of nothingness left. He drinks the nothingness like a cool draught of water. It quenches his thirst for rest. The room is a box of gray stone and gray light and gray wool. It is a monochrome painting of stillness. The only color is the invisible red of the guard's blood and the orange memory of the fire. The rest is shadow. The shadow protects the sleeper. It hides him from the day. It keeps the demands of the world at bay. The guard is hidden. He is secret. He is asleep. The silence rings in the ears with a high, thin note. It is the sound of the absence of sound. It is the sound of peace. The guard listens to the peace. He lets it fill his head. He lets it push out the memories of the shouting sergeant and the clashing steel. There is no steel here, only wool, soft, warm, scratchy wool. It is the fabric of life. It is the fabric of sleep. The guard wraps himself in the fabric and drifts away. He drifts further and further from the shore of wakefulness. He is out in the deep ocean now. The water is deep and dark. He sinks down. He is gone. He is asleep. The sun has now climbed higher in the sky, but the angle of the window prevents any direct beams from touching the floor. The light remains a diffuse and hazy gray that illuminates the dust motes dancing in the stagnant air. The guard has not moved. He is a permanent fixture of the room, like the stone bench or the heavy wooden door. His stillness is absolute. The wool cloak has settled into the final shape of his body, and it looks like it has been carved from gray rock. The folds of the fabric are rigid and heavy. Inside the cloak, the air is humid and warm and smells of deep sleep. The guard breathes in the humidity, and it keeps his throat moist. He breathes out the carbon dioxide, and it filters slowly through the layers of wool. The exchange is invisible and silent. The straw mattress has accepted the shape of the guard completely. It holds him in a firm embrace. The individual stalks of straw are crushed and flattened, but they still provide the critical layer of insulation. The cold from the stone floor pushes up against the canvas bottom of the mattress, but it cannot penetrate the straw. The battle between the cold earth and the warm body is a stalemate. The guard is safe in the demilitarized zone. He is suspended in a bubble of thermal equilibrium. His heart rate is slow and steady. Thump, thump, thump. It is the only clock that he obeys. The world outside is waking up fully now. The sounds of the castle are becoming more frequent. There is the distant clang of a hammer on an anvil from the smithy. There is the shout of a baker selling bread in the courtyard. There is the bark of a dog near the stables. But these sounds are filtered through the thick stone walls and the heavy oak door. They arrive in the guard room as faint echoes. They are like ghosts of sounds. They do not have the power to wake the guard. He incorporates them into the texture of his rest. The clang of the hammer becomes the ticking of a large clock in his dream. The shout of the baker becomes the wind in the trees. The bark of the dog becomes part of the silence. The guard's mind is a master of translation. It translates everything into sleep. It turns the noise into a lullaby. The room is a sanctuary. It is a vault of peace. The air is cool and still. The dust settles on the guard's boots. It settles on the floor. It settles on the cold ashes in the brazier. The dust is the blanket of the room. It covers everything in a fine gray layer. It muffles the light. It softens the edges. The guard is covered in the invisible dust of sleep. It weighs him down. It keeps him grounded. He feels heavy and solid. He is not flighty. He is not restless. He is a rock. He is a stone. He is part of the foundation of the castle. The castle rests on him, and he rests on the straw. It is a chain of support. The guard supports the defense, and the sleep supports the guard. The cycle is virtuous. The guard drifts deeper into the gray fog. The fog is thick and comfortable. It wraps around his mind. It fills his ears. It covers his eyes. He sees nothing. He hears nothing. He feels only the warmth. The warmth is a physical presence. It hugs him. It holds him. It tells him that everything is all right. The winter cannot hurt him here. The snow cannot touch him here. The wind cannot find him here. He is hidden. He is secret. He is buried treasure. The treasure is the energy he is saving. The energy is pooling in his muscles. It is refilling the tanks. It is repairing the fibers. The sleep is the mechanic. The body is the machine. The repair is happening in silence. The guard is unaware of it. He is only aware of the dark. The dark is kind. The dark is generous. It gives him time. It gives him space. It gives him peace. The morning stretches on towards noon, but the room stays dim. The thermal mass of the castle keeps the temperature stable. It is a cave temperature, cool and constant. The guard is the cave bear. He sleeps through the winter. He sleeps through the morning. He sleeps through the noise. He is a professional. He knows how to sleep. He knows how to stay warm. He knows how to survive. The wool is his ally. The straw is his friend. The stone is his guardian. They work together to keep him safe. The system is perfect. The result is sleep. Deep, boring, wonderful sleep. The guard breathes in. The guard breathes out. The cycle continues. The silence continues. The sleep continues. The sun reaches its zenith high above the castle towers, but down here in the guard room the light remains a constant dusty twilight. The shadows have shifted slightly to the other side of the room, but the change is so slow that it is invisible to the eye. The guard is still lost in the deep valleys of slumber. His body is a heavy weight that anchors the straw mattress to the floor. The wool cloak is a dark mountain range that covers him. The peaks and valleys of the fabric are stiff with the chill of the room, but the air underneath is warm and life-sustaining. The guard breathes the rhythm of the castle. It is a slow and geological rhythm. It is the rhythm of stone settling into the earth. It is the rhythm of timber drying in the air. The guard is part of the architecture now. He is as silent as the mortar. He is as still as the iron bars on the window. The world outside is busy with the tasks of the day. The cooks are chopping vegetables. The grooms are brushing horses. The archers are fletching arrows. But the guard has no tasks. His only task is to sleep. He performs this task with absolute dedication. He does not cut corners. He does not rush. He gives himself over to the process completely. The sleep is a heavy liquid that fills his mind. It pushes out all the worry. It pushes out all the noise. There is only the sensation of the wool against the skin. The wool is scratchy, but the scratchiness is familiar. It is the texture of security. It is the texture of warmth. The lanolin in the wool smells of the sheep that grazed on the high hills in the summer. It brings a memory of sunshine into the dark room. The guard sleeps on the memory of sunshine. He wraps himself in the harvest of the fields. The straw beneath him is the golden stalk of the wheat. It is dry and hollow and perfect for insulation. The air trapped inside the straw stalks is dead air. It does not move. It does not transfer heat. It acts as a barrier between the warm body and the cold ground. The guard lies on a raft of dead air. He floats on the raft in the sea of cold. The sea cannot touch him. He is dry and he is warm. The silence in the room is thick and palpable. It feels like a soft pressure on the ears. It is the absence of vibration. The air is still. The dust is still. The ashes in the brazier are still. The guard is the center of the stillness. He is the eye of the storm. The storm of the winter blows outside, but inside there is only calm. The calm is restorative. It knits together the raveled sleeve of care. It smooths out the muscles. It slows down the heart. The heart beats with a steady, heavy thud. It is the drum that keeps the time. The time is slow. The time is fluid. The time does not matter. The guard has nowhere to be. They simply stand and wait. The guard stands and waits in his sleep. He waits for the evening. He waits for the waking. But not yet. Now is the time for drifting. The guard drifts on a river of gray mist. The mist is cool and damp, but he is dry inside his cloak. The cloak is his boat. The sleep is the current. He flows effortlessly downstream. There are no rapids. There are no rocks. There is only the smooth flow of the water. The guard is a passenger. He closes his mental eyes and enjoys the ride. The ride is boring. It is wonderfully, beautifully boring. It is the boredom of total safety. It is the boredom of having no needs. The guard has no hunger. He has no thirst. He has no cold. He is satisfied. He is complete. The room holds him like a precious object. The shadows cradle him. The silence wraps him. He is a child of the castle. He is a son of the stone. He sleeps the sleep of the just. He sleeps the sleep of the stone. The heavy oak beams overhead look down on him. They are old and black with smoke. They are the ribs of the room. The guard is safe inside the rib cage of the castle. The heart of the castle beats slowly. The guard beats in time with it. The harmony is perfect. The resonance is deep. The sleep is profound. The guard sinks lower into the straw. The straw accepts him. The wool covers him. The stone protects him. The winter is defeated. The guard is the winner. He wins by sleeping. He wins by doing nothing. It is the ultimate victory. The silence reigns supreme. The afternoon drifts into the guard room with the slowness of honey pouring from a jar. The light has not changed in quality or intensity and remains the same dull slate gray that has filled the space since dawn. The consistency of the light is hypnotic. It creates a timeless atmosphere where the passing of hours feels irrelevant. The guard lies deep within this timelessness. He is anchored to the floor by the sheer weight of his exhaustion and the heavy layers of his bedding. The wool cloak is now fully acclimated to the temperature gradient of the room. The outer surface is cold to the touch, cold as the stone wall itself, but the inner surface is radiating with the steady heat of the human body. The guard is a biological engine humming quietly in the dark. His breath leaves his body in a slow, steady stream that is invisible in the dim light. The air in the room is heavy and still. It presses against the tapestry over the window. It presses against the wooden door. It presses against the sleeping guard. The pressure is comforting. It feels like being wrapped in a heavy quilt of air. The guard does not dream. His mind is a blank canvas painted in shades of gray. There is no activity in his thoughts. There is only the sensation of rest. The sensation is physical and dense. It feels like sinking into warm mud. The straw mattress supports every inch of his frame. The hollow stalks of the straw have compressed to form a custom mold of his body. The canvas fabric holds the straw together. The friction between the canvas and the stone floor keeps the bed from sliding. Everything is locked in place. Everything is secure. The silence is not empty. It is full of the absence of noise. It is a thick silence that absorbs any stray sound. A bird calls out from high up on the battlements a sharp cry that is instantly swallowed by the wind and the stone. It does not reach the guard. He is too deep. He is too far away. He is in the citadel of sleep. The walls of the citadel are made of wool and silence. The guard is the commander of the citadel, but he issues no orders. He simply exists. He breathes. He stays warm. The concept of cold is abstract to him now. He knows it exists outside the cloak, but he does not feel it. He is insulated. He is isolated. He is protected. The engineering of the medieval clothing is a triumph of survival. The linen wicks the moisture. The wool traps the air. The felt blocks the wind. It is a system that has been perfected over centuries. The guard benefits from this wisdom. He wears the wisdom of his ancestors. He sleeps in the technology of the past. The technology works. It keeps the core temperature stable. It keeps the blood flowing. It keeps the guard alive to sleep another day. The afternoon stretches out endlessly. There is no sun to mark the time in this north-facing room. There is only the gray. The gray is soothing to the eyes. It requires no focus. It demands no attention. The guard's eyes are resting behind heavy lids. The muscles of the face are completely slack. The jaw is relaxed. The forehead is smooth. The guard looks like a stone effigy on a tomb, but he is warm and breathing. The breath is the only sign of life. In, out. In, out. It is the metronome of the room. The dust motes in the air dance to the rhythm of the breath. They rise and fall on the thermal currents. The currents are weak and slow. The air is stagnant. Stagnant air is warm air. The guard knows this. He does not stir the air. He lets it sit. He lets it layer itself around him. He is the center of a warm onion of air. The layers protect him. The stone floor is the only threat. It is a heat sink that wants to drain the warmth from the room, but the straw fights back. The straw is the shield. The guard trusts the shield. He lies heavy on the shield. The gravity pulls him down. The sleep pulls him down. He is double-weighted. He is immovable. The castle could crumble around him and he would still be asleep. The world could end and he would still be warm. The focus is narrow. The focus is internal. The guard is exploring the geography of his own comfort. It is a landscape of soft edges and warm valleys. He travels through this landscape slowly. He is a pilgrim of rest. The destination is nowhere. The journey is everything. The journey is the sleep. The guard sleeps. The guard rests. The guard waits. The day moves on without him. The shadows lengthen in the courtyard. The sun begins its descent in the west. The air outside grows colder. The wind picks up speed. But inside the room, nothing changes. The room is a capsule of stasis. The guard is the passenger in the capsule. He is traveling through time without moving. He is skipping the boring parts of the day. He is skipping the cold parts of the day. He is smart. He is sleeping. The wool itches slightly at the collar, but he does not scratch. The itch is just a reminder of the wool. The wool is good. The itch is good. It means he is covered. It means he is safe. The silence rings on. It is a constant tone. It is the sound of the earth turning. The guard hears it in his bones. He vibrates with the frequency of the stone. He is one with the castle. He is one with the sleep. The afternoon light begins to fail, and the gray turns to a deep sullen blue in the corners of the room. The transition is seamless and slow, like the movement of a shadow across a sundial. The guard lies in the center of the darkening room. He is a monument to stillness. His body has not moved for hours. The wool cloak is a dark shell that hides him from the gathering gloom. The air in the room is cooling down again as the heat of the day dissipates into the massive stone walls. The walls are hungry for heat. They absorb it endlessly, but the guard does not yield his heat. He keeps it trapped against his skin. The linen shirt is warm. The wool tunic is warm. The air pockets are warm. It is a closed system. The guard is the engineer of his own survival. He operates the machinery of sleep with expert precision. The machinery is silent. The heart pumps. The lungs expand. The blood flows. It happens without thought. It happens without effort. The guard is merely the vessel. The vessel is at rest. The straw mattress is the dock. The floor is the harbor. The castle is the sea. The metaphors drift through the mind like low clouds. They do not stick. They dissolve into the feeling of heaviness. The heaviness is the dominant sensation. It is a pleasant weight that presses the guard down into the earth. He feels connected to the ground. He feels rooted. The stone floor is the bedrock of his world. It is solid and unshakable. The guard borrows the stability of the stone. He becomes solid. He becomes unshakable. The evening sounds begin to filter through the walls. The distant clang of a pot in the kitchen. The murmur of voices in the corridor. The creak of a wagon wheel in the courtyard. They are the sounds of the castle preparing for the night. But the guard is already prepared. He is ahead of the schedule. He has been in the night mode all day. He is a pioneer of sleep. He explores the territory of rest while others work. The work is hard. The sleep is easy. The guard chooses the easy path. He stays on the path. He does not deviate. The path leads to the morning. The morning is still far away. There are hours of darkness left. The guard hoards the hours like gold coins. He spends them slowly, one breath at a time. Inhale, exhale, the currency of sleep. The room is now almost dark. The outline of the window is a faint blue rectangle. The rest is shadow. The shadow is soft and thick. It fills the space under the bench. It fills the corners of the ceiling. It fills the folds of the cloak. The guard wraps the shadow around him like a second blanket. He is invisible. He is safe. The dog by the brazier stands up and circles 3 times before lying down again. The claws click on the stone. The fur rustles. Then silence returns. The dog sleeps. The guard sleeps. The pact is renewed. The species are different, but the need is the same: to be warm, to be safe, to be unconscious. The guard's stomach is empty, but the sleep suppresses the hunger. The metabolism slows down to a crawl. The body consumes itself gently to keep the fire burning. It is a controlled burn. The energy is measured out in drops. The guard is efficient. He wastes nothing. He moves nothing. He thinks nothing. He is a perfect biological machine. The cold presses against the door. It tries to slide under the crack, but the draft excluder stops it. The draft excluder is an old sack filled with rags. It is simple and effective. The cold is stopped. The guard is protected. The layers of defense are multiple. The stone, the wood, the sack, the wool, the linen, the skin. The center is the heart. The heart is warm. The heart is beating. The sound is the rhythm of the universe. Thump, thump, thump. It never stops. It never speeds up. It is the metronome of the night. The guard listens to the beat. He syncs his breathing to the beat. He becomes the beat. There is no separation between the guard and the rhythm. They are one. The darkness is now complete. The blue rectangle has faded to black. The room is a void. The guard floats in the void. He is weightless and heavy at the same time. He is everywhere and nowhere. He is asleep. The sleep is a dark ocean. He is a submarine running silent and deep. The pressure is immense, but the hull holds. The hull is the cloak. The cloak is strong. The felted wool is armor. It deflects the cold. It deflects the worry. It deflects the light. The guard is impenetrable. He is a fortress within a fortress. The keep is the stone. The inner keep is the wool. The guard resides in the inner keep. He is the king of the quiet. He rules over the silence. His reign is peaceful. There are no rebellions. There are no wars. There is only the steady breathing of the night. The air is cool and clean. It tastes of stone and dust. It is the taste of time. The guard tastes the time. He swallows the seconds. He digests the minutes. He sleeps through the hours. The process is automatic. The process is natural. The process is boring. It is the most boring thing in the world. And that is why it works. That is why it heals. The boredom is the medicine. The guard takes the medicine. He sleeps. He rests. He waits. The darkness in the room is now a physical weight that presses against the eyelids, and it is absolute and total. The guard is submerged in the ink of the night. He does not know if his eyes are open or closed because there is no difference. The room has ceased to be a visual space and has become a tactile space. He feels the rough texture of the canvas under his hand. He feels the heavy weave of the wool on his shoulder. These are his coordinates in the void. The only reality is the touch and the warmth. The temperature has dropped another degree as the castle cools down from the meager heat of the day. The stone walls are releasing the cold they have stored for centuries. It is a deep geological cold that tries to seep into the marrow of the bone. But the guard is immune. He is encapsulated. The wool cloak is a barrier that the cold cannot cross. The fibers of the wool are microscopic springs that hold the air in place. The air is the insulation. The wool is just the structure. The guard is wearing a suit of air. He is floating in his own warmth. The sensation is pleasant and narcotic. It numbs the mind. It slows the thoughts to a halt. There is nothing to think about in the dark. There is no stimulation. There is only the repetition of the breath. Inhale, exhale. The sound is like the ocean in a shell. It is the only sound in the universe. The guard listens to it. He becomes absorbed by it. He is the breath. The breath is the guard. The distinction is lost. The straw mattress is warm now all the way through to the center. It has absorbed the body heat of the guard and holds it like a battery. The straw is a thermal mass. It radiates the warmth back to the guard. It is a partnership. The man and the straw against the winter. The guard is winning. He is comfortable. He is relaxed. The tension of the muscles has melted away completely. He is a puddle of relaxation on the floor. The floor is hard, but he does not feel it. The layers are thick enough. The canvas is tough enough. The guard is tough enough. He sleeps the sleep of the stone. The stone does not dream. The stone does not worry. The stone just is. The guard just is. The existence is simple. It is stripped of all complexity. It is reduced to the basics. Heat, breath, safety, sleep. The guard hovers on the edge of consciousness. He dips in and out of the deep sleep. It is a gentle undulation, like a boat on a calm sea. The sea is black. The sky is black. The world is black. The guard is the only point of light. The light is invisible. It is the heat of his life. It burns slowly. It burns steadily. It will last until the morning. The morning is a distant rumor. The night is the reality. The night is long. The night is patient. The guard is patient. He has nowhere to go. He has nothing to do. He is exactly where he needs to be. He is doing exactly what he needs to do. He is sleeping. It is a noble profession. It's stillness. The guard has both. He is a master of the craft. The air in the room is still and heavy. It does not move. It hangs in the darkness like a curtain. The guard breathes the heavy air. It tastes of dust and wool. It is a dry taste. It is a clean taste. It is the taste of safety. The guard swallows the safety. It fills his lungs. It enters his blood. It travels to his heart. The heart pumps the safety to the rest of the body. The toes feel safe. The fingers feel safe. The mind feels safe. The fear of the cold is gone. The fear of the dark is gone. There is only the comfort. The comfort is a soft blanket. It covers everything. It smooths everything. It quiets everything. The guard is wrapped in the blanket. He is swaddled like an infant. He is cared for by the wool. The wool is the mother. The straw is the father. The stone is the home. The family of objects protects him. He is grateful. He sleeps to show his gratitude. He sleeps to honor the wool. He sleeps to honor the straw. The silence deepens. It becomes a presence in the room, a large silent animal that sits in the corner and watches. It is a benevolent presence. It guards the guard. It keeps the noise away. It keeps the chaos away. The guard is safe in the presence of the silence. He trusts the silence. He leans into it. He rests his head on it. It is a soft pillow, the pillow of nothingness. The guard sinks into the pillow. He goes down, down into the dark, down into the warm, down into the sleep. The journey is endless. The destination is the same. The sleep is the beginning and the end. The guard is the traveler. He travels without moving. He arrives without leaving. He is there. He is asleep. The night rolls on. The stars turn. The wind blows. The snow falls. The guard sleeps. The castle sleeps. The world sleeps. The heavy oak door stands guard against the corridor. It is a sentinel of wood and iron. The iron bands are cold, but the wood is neutral. The guard does not see the door. He sees the inside of his eyelids. It is a landscape of dark, gray velvet. The velvet is soft and infinite. He wraps himself in the velvet. The sleep is a garment. He wears it well. The fit is perfect. The air in the room has settled into layers of density. The heaviest air is at the bottom. The guard lies in the heaviest air. It presses against his chest. It slows his breathing. It creates a natural resistance. The resistance is calming. It feels like being held. The guard likes being held by the air. It is a gentle embrace. The stone floor is the foundation. It is the bedrock of his rest. He trusts the stone. He has always trusted the stone. The castle was here before he was born. It will be here after he is gone. But for now they are together. The man and the rock, the warmth and the cold, the silence and the wind. The equation is balanced. The solution is sleep. The guard moves his foot a fraction of an inch inside the wool hose. The movement is microscopic. It generates a tiny spark of heat. The heat stays inside the boot. The boot is a leather vault. The treasure is the warmth. The guard is a miser of warmth. He saves every bit of it. He does not spend it on movement. He does not spend it on thought. He keeps it all for the sleep. The sleep demands the energy. The sleep is a hungry process. It eats the time. It eats the cold. It leaves only the rest. The guard feeds the sleep. He offers up his stillness as a sacrifice. The sleep accepts the offer. It grants him peace. The peace is thick and syrupy. It coats his mind. It slows his synapses. The thoughts move like flies in amber. They are stuck. They are frozen. They are beautiful in their stillness. The guard observes the stillness. He is the curator of the Museum of Sleep. The exhibits are all the same. They are all nothing. The nothingness is the art. The guard admires the art. He stares into the void, and the void stares back. The void is friendly. It is not scary. It is just empty. The emptiness is a relief. The world is too full of things, too full of noise, too full of people. The guard room is empty. The mind is empty. The night is empty. It is a perfect vacuum. The guard exists in the vacuum. He is sealed in. The wool cloak is the seal. It is airtight. It is watertight. It is worry-tight. Nothing can get in. The guard is safe. The castle settles deeper into the earth. The weight of the stone presses down. The foundation compresses the soil. The movement is too slow to feel, but the guard knows it is happening. He feels the connection to the earth. He is part of the geology. He is a fossil in the making, but a warm fossil, a living fossil. He breathes in, out, in, out. The rhythm is the tides. The rhythm is the seasons. The rhythm is the life. The guard surrenders to the rhythm. He stops fighting. He stops trying. He just is. The state of being is enough. The state of sleeping is eno. The floor is cold, but he loves it, because they are the tools of his trade, and his trade is sleep. He is a craftsman. He is building a masterpiece of rest. He adds another layer of silence. He adds another layer of stillness. He smooths it out. He polishes it. It shines in the dark. It is a jewel of sleep. The guard holds the jewel. He keeps it safe. He sleeps on. The wind outside changes direction. It blows from the north now. It brings the deep cold from the Arctic. But the guard does not know. He is in the tropics of the wool. He is on an island of heat. The ocean of cold cannot reach him. He is safe on the beach. The sand is warm. The sun is warm. The dream is warm. He stays in the dream. He ignores the wind. The wind is just a sound. It is not a threat. The stone walls are the threat to the wind. They break the wind. They stop the wind. The guard is behind the wall. He is the beneficiary of the wall. He owes his sleep to the wall. He thanks the wall by sleeping. The gratitude is silent. The sleep is silent. The night is silent. The deep night rolls on like a heavy wheel turning slowly in the mud. The guard lies beneath the wheel, but he is not crushed. He is protected. The spokes of the wheel are the hours, and they pass one by one in a steady procession. The guard does not count them. He does not care about the numbers. He only cares about the feeling. The feeling is constant. It is a dull and heavy warmth that sits in the center of his chest. It radiates outward like a slow ripple in a pond of oil. The oil is thick and dark. The sleep is thick and dark. The guard swims in the oil. He moves without effort. He floats without buoyancy. He is suspended in the medium of rest. The wool cloak is the vessel that holds him. The fibers of the wool are the hull of the ship. They are battered by the microscopic currents of cold air, but they do not break. The integrity of the wool is absolute. It is a fortress of hair. It is a castle of fleece. The guard is the lord of the fleece. He commands the warmth to stay, and it obeys. The warmth has nowhere else to go. The stone floor repels it. The cold air rejects it. So it stays close to the source. The source is the body. The body is the sun. The cloak is the atmosphere. The system is solar. The guard is the center of his own universe. The planets are his hands and feet. They orbit the center in slow motion. They are warm and heavy. The gravity of sleep holds them in their tracks. The silence in the room is a physical substance. It fills the nose and the mouth. It tastes like old dust and dry stone. It is a dry vintage. The guard drinks it down. It makes him heavy. It makes him slow. It makes him sleep. The straw mattress creaks once with a sound like a dried twig snapping in a winter forest. The sound is loud in the silence, but it is brief. It vanishes instantly. The silence rushes back in to fill the void. The silence is aggressive. It conquers the sound. It conquers the movement. It conquers the guard. He surrenders willingly. He lays down his arms. He lays down his thoughts. He accepts the defeat. The defeat is sweet. The defeat is rest. The guard is a prisoner of peace. He is shackled by comfort. The chains are made of soft wool. The cuffs are made of warm air. He does not want to be free. Freedom is cold. Freedom is awake. He prefers the prison. The prison is warm. The prison is asleep. The guard delves deeper into the sensation of the straw. He feels the individual stalks through the canvas. They are hard and round. They press against his ribs. It is a massage of stillness. The pressure reminds him that he is real. He is not a ghost. He is flesh and blood, but barely. He is mostly sleep. The flesh is just the container. The sleep is the content. The container is sealed. The content is preserved. The guard is a jar of sleep sitting on a shelf of stone. The shelf is the floor. The floor is the earth. The earth is the world. The guard is connected to everything. He is grounded. He is rooted. He is stationary. The wind outside howls like a lost soul. It bangs against the shutters. It wants to come in. It wants the warmth, but it cannot have it. The warmth belongs to the guard. He earned it. He made it. He keeps it. The wind can have the snow. The wind can have the ice. The guard keeps the fire. The fire is inside. It burns without smoke. It burns without light. It burns with heat. The heat is life. The sleep is the guardian of the heat. The guard guards the heat by sleeping. It is his duty. He performs it well. He is a model soldier. He stands his post by lying down. He fights the cold by doing nothing. He wins the war by closing his eyes. The victory is silent. The medals are invisible. The reward is the morning. But the morning is miles away. The guard does not look for it. He looks at the dark. The dark is soothing. It is a balm for the eyes. It is a salve for the mind. The guard applies the balm. He spreads it thick. He covers everything. The now is soft. The now is warm. The guard lives in the now. He breathes the now. He sleeps the now. The stone walls are the boundaries of the now. They define the space. They define the time. They are the frame of the picture. The picture is of a sleeping man. The man is still. The man is quiet. The man is warm. The artist is the night. The paint is the shadow. The canvas is the floor. The guard is the subject. He poses perfectly. He does not move. He holds the pose for hours. He is a professional model of sleep. The audience is the silence. The applause is the wind. The guard takes a bow in his mind. He descends the stage. He goes backstage. Backstage is the dream. The dream is a dark room with a warm fire. The guard sits by the fire. He is safe. He is happy. He is asleep. The heavy woolen threads of the cloak are like the bars of a cage. But it is a soft cage that keeps the guard safe from the wild beast of the winter. The beast prowls outside the walls and scratches at the mortar, but it cannot get in. The guard is secure inside the cage of wool. The air inside the cage is personal and warm. It is the breath of his own life recycled and preserved. He breathes in the warm air and feels it travel down to the bottom of his lungs. The oxygen enters the blood, and the blood travels to the muscles. The muscles are heavy and loose. They have detached themselves from the bones. The guard feels like a sack of warm sand. The sand is settling. The grains are finding their resting place. The gravity is the hand that smooths the sand. The guard loves the gravity. He loves the weight. He loves the floor. The floor is the ultimate support. It never tires. It never moves. It holds him up forever. The straw mattress is the mediator between the flesh and the stone. It negotiates the temperature. It says no to the cold and yes to the warmth. The guard listens to the negotiation. It is a silent conversation. The straw speaks in rustles. The stone speaks in silence. The guard speaks in breath. The conversation is slow. It takes all night to say one sentence. The sentence is, "I am asleep." The guard repeats the sentence in his mind. I am asleep. I am asleep. It is a mantra of truth. The mind believes it. The body acts on it. The heart slows down to match the cadence of the words. Thump, thump, thump. The beat is a soft drum in a padded room. The room is padded with shadow. The shadow is acoustic foam. It absorbs the sharp edges of the world. It leaves only the round, smooth shapes of rest. The guard traces the shapes in his mind. He sees a round stone. He sees a round hill. He sees a round coil of rope. Everything is round. Everything is continuous. There are no corners to bump into. There are no cliffs to fall off. The landscape of sleep is a rolling plain of gray grass. The guard walks through the grass. The grass is wool. The sky is stone. The air is warm. He walks forever. He never gets tired. He is already resting while he walks. It is a paradox of dreams. The guard enjoys the paradox. He smiles internally. The smile relaxes the muscles of the face even more. The skin hangs loose on the skull. The wrinkles smooth out. The guard looks like a statue of peace. The statue is covered in dust. The dust is the passage of time. The time falls on him like snow. It covers him. It buries him. He is happy to be buried. He is a seed in the winter earth. He waits for the spring. The spring is the morning. But the winter is the night. The night is long. The night is dark. The night is warm. The guard is the king of the night. His crown is made of wool. His scepter is a stalk of straw. His throne is the floor. He rules with a gentle hand. He commands the silence. The silence obeys. The room is so quiet that a pin dropping would sound like a cannon, but no pins drop. Nothing falls. Nothing breaks. Everything is suspended. The guard is suspended. He hangs in the web of sleep. The web is sticky. It holds him fast. He cannot escape. He does not want to escape. The fly loves the spider. The guard loves the sleep. The relationship is symbiotic. The sleep needs the dreamer. The dreamer needs the sleep. They are one organism. They breathe together. They exist together. The cold air outside the castle is jealous. It wants to join the union. It wants to share the warmth. But the walls say no. The doors say no. The cloak says no. The union is exclusive. It is private. The guard keeps it that way. He guards the privacy of his warmth. He is a jealous lover of heat. He hugs it close. He does not let a single calorie escape. The conservation is total. The efficiency is 100%. The guard is a perfect machine. The machine is turned off. It is cooling down. It is resting. The maintenance cycle is running. The repairs are being made. The mind is being wiped clean. The slate is gray again. The chalk dust is blown away. The guard is ready for nothing. He is doing nothing. He is succeeding at nothing. It is the greatest success of his life, to sleep, to be warm, to survive. The night continues. The wheel turns. The guard sleeps. The guard lies in the center of the universe of sleep, which is a very small universe, bounded by the edges of the straw mattress. The dimensions of his world have shrunk to the immediate vicinity of his body. He is aware only of the wool that touches his chin and the canvas that touches his hip. The rest of the castle has faded into a theoretical concept that does not concern him. The king is a theory. The war is a theory. The cold is a theory. The warmth is the only fact. The warmth is the absolute truth of his existence. He accepts this truth. He embraces it. He clings to it. The air inside the cloak has a specific density that feels heavier than the air outside. It is rich with the humidity of his breath. It is a tropical microclimate that defies the winter latitude. The guard is a traveler who has brought his own weather with him. He carries the summer in his clothes. The wool is the keeper of the summer. The sheep that grew the wool ate the summer grass and stored the energy of the sun in the fibers. Now the guard reaps the benefit of that energy. It is a transfer of power across time and species. The guard is grateful to the sheep. He is grateful to the weaver. He is grateful to the tailor. They have all conspired to keep him warm. They have built a fortress of cloth around him. He is the occupant of the fortress. He is the sleeping garrison. The stone floor beneath the mattress is older than the memory of any living man. It was quarried from the deep earth where the cold lives. It brings the cold with it into the room. But the straw intercepts the cold. The straw is the diplomat that negotiates the peace treaty. The treaty holds. The guard is safe. The silence in the room is not just an absence of sound, but a presence of peace. It fills the space between the atoms of the air. It slows down the vibration of the world. The guard vibrates at the frequency of the silence. It is a low frequency. It is a hum that cannot be heard, only felt. He feels it in his bones. He feels it in his teeth. It is a soothing sensation. It vibrates the tension out of the muscles. It vibrates the worry out of the mind. The guard is being tuned like an instrument. The instrument is being lowered in pitch, down to the bass notes, down to the sub-bass, down to the silence. The darkness is a velvet blindfold. It rests gently on the eyes. It prevents any visual stimulation from reaching the brain. The brain is starved of images. It stops looking. It stops processing. It shuts down the visual cortex. The guard sees only the black and the gray of the void. The void is restful. It is a blank screen. The guard watches the blank screen. He waits for nothing. He expects nothing. He is content with nothing. The nothing is everything. The weight of the body is distributed perfectly across the surface of the mattress. The pressure points are relieved. The blood flows without obstruction. The capillaries in the skin are dilated and warm. The guard is a radiator of life. He heats the room by a fraction of a degree. He is a small sun in a dark solar system. The planets are the dust motes. They orbit him in slow circles. The gravity of his sleep pulls them in. They settle on his cloak. They become part of the landscape. The landscape is still. It is a painting of a sleeping guard. The painter used only gray paint. The brushstrokes are invisible. The detail is infinite. The guard is a masterpiece of realism. He is real. He is there. He is asleep. The wind outside taps against the shutter like a polite visitor asking to come in. The guard does not answer. He is not receiving visitors. He is busy. He is sleeping. It is a full-time job. It requires total concentration. The guard concentrates on his breathing. In, out, in, out. It is the only work he does. The rest is done by the wool. The rest is done by the straw. The rest is done by the stone. They are the team. The guard is the captain. The team is winning. The score is warmth 1 and cold 0. The game is long. The game lasts all night. But the guard is patient. He has stamina. He can sleep for hours. He can sleep for centuries in his mind. The time is elastic. It stretches and compresses. It loops back on itself. The guard is lost in the loop. He is happy to be lost. He does not want to be found. He wants to stay in the hidden place. The place of wool and stone. The place of silence. The place of sleep. The guard remains suspended in the deep amber of the night, where time has ceased to have any meaning at all. The darkness is a solid substance that fills the room from the flagstones to the rafters, and it presses gently against the guard's skin. He is wrapped in so many layers of wool that he has become a shapeless mound on the floor, but inside the mound, the life is warm and steady. The air within the cloak is still and humid, and it smells of the guard's own sleep. It is a recycled warmth that is precious and finite. The guard guards this warmth with his stillness. He does not move a muscle because movement breaks the seal, and breaking the seal lets the cold in. The cold is waiting patiently outside the layers. It sits on the surface of the cloak like a layer of frost. It sits on the leather of the boots. It sits on the stone of the floor. But it cannot penetrate the defense. The defense is built on the physics of trapped air. The wool fibers are curly and chaotic, and they trap millions of tiny pockets of air. The air cannot move, so it cannot carry the heat away. The guard is wearing a suit of static air. He is floating in a bubble of thermal isolation. The straw mattress beneath him plays its part perfectly. The hollow stalks of the dried wheat are nature's vacuum tubes. They hold the dead air and keep the conductive cold of the stone at bay. The guard lies on the harvest of the summer fields, and the memory of the sun protects him from the winter night. It is a poetic cycle of energy, but the guard does not think of poetry. He thinks of nothing. His mind is a smooth gray stone that rests at the bottom of a deep, dark lake. The water of the lake is still. There are no currents. There are no fish. There is only the water and the stone. The guard is the stone. The sleep is the water. The immersion is total. The silence in the room is so profound that it has a texture. It feels like velvet against the ears. It muffles the thoughts. It muffles the heartbeat. The heartbeat slow and strong. Thump, thump, thump. It is the only sound in the guard's universe. It is the drum of life beating in the cave of winter. The guard listens to the drum. He syncs his breathing to the rhythm. Inhale for 4 beats. Exhale for 4 beats. The pattern is automatic. The body takes over. The conscious mind drifts away. It drifts out of the castle. It drifts over the snow-covered fields. It drifts into the clouds. The guard is flying in his sleep. He is weightless. He is free. But his body remains anchored to the floor. The gravity is heavy. The wool is heavy. The tiredness is heavy. The heaviness is a comfort. It feels like a strong hand holding him down, telling him to stay, telling him to rest. The guard obeys the hand. He stays. He rests. He sleeps. The night is long and there is no rush. The sun is hours away. The dawn is a distant promise that does not concern him yet. The present moment is the only reality. The present moment is warm. The present moment is dark. The present moment is silent. The guard inhabits the present moment completely. He fills it with his breathing. He fills it with his sleeping. The dust motes in the air settle on the cloak. They add a microscopic layer of insulation. Every little bit helps. The guard accepts the help of the dust. He accepts the help of the straw. He accepts the help of the stone. He is part of the team. The team is surviving. The team is sleeping. The cold wind buffets the castle walls, but the walls are 6 feet thick. The wind washes over them like water over a rock. The rock does not move. The guard does not move. He is as solid as the wall. He is part of the defense. He defends the castle by staying alive. He stays alive by staying warm. He stays warm by sleeping. The logic is circular and perfect. The circle is unbroken. The guard sleeps in the circle. He is the center point. The world revolves around him. The stars turn in the sky. The moon tracks its course. The guard turns only inward, into the dark, into the warm, into the silence. The sensation of the wool against his neck is constant. It is rough, but he does not feel the roughness anymore. He only feels the barrier. The barrier is good. It separates the inside from the outside. The inside is life. The outside is winter. The guard stays inside. He stays deep inside. He is buried in the wool. He is a treasure in a chest. The chest is locked. The key is lost. The guard is safe. The sleep continues. The breath continues. The life continues. The guard lies in the absolute center of the night, where the darkness is thickest and the silence is deepest. The room has ceased to be a room and has become a capsule of pure rest. The stone walls have dissolved into the shadows, and the ceiling has vanished into the void. There is only the sensation of the body touching the straw and the wool touching the body. It is a hierarchy of touch. The guard feels the rough canvas of the mattress pressing against his hip bone. It is a solid pressure that grounds him. It tells him where the earth is. He feels the heavy weight of the cloak pressing down on his shoulder. It is a comforting pressure that protects him. It tells him where the sky is not. He is sandwiched between the earth and the cloak. He is the filling in a warm sandwich. The air inside the room is stagnant and cold, but the air inside the cloak is moving slowly with the rhythm of his body heat. It rises from his chest and circulates down to his legs, and then rises again. It is a convection current of life. The guard is his own weather system. He does not need the sun. He has the metabolic fire. The fire burns low and slow. It consumes the fatigue of the day and turns it into heat. The process is efficient and silent. The guard is a master of energy conservation. He does not waste a single movement. His hands are tucked securely into the folds of the wool. His fingers are curled and warm. The calluses on his palms are softening in the humidity of the cloak. The skin is repairing itself. The body is knitting itself back together. The sleep is the needle and thread. The guard lets the sleep do the work. He is just the canvas. The silence in the room is heavy like water. It fills the ears with a dull pressure. It is the sound of the blood rushing through the veins. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It is a slow river. The guard floats on the river. He drifts past the banks of consciousness. He sees the thoughts standing on the shore, but he does not wave. He drifts by. He is going to the ocean. The ocean is the deep sleep. The ocean is black and calm. The guard reaches the ocean. He sinks down. The water is warm. The water is wool. The metaphor changes, but the feeling remains. The feeling is safety. The feeling is warmth. The feeling is heavy. The stone floor waits patiently underneath the straw. It knows the guard is there. It holds him up. It does not complain. The stone is ancient and wise. It has held up many guards. It has held up many sleepers. It is used to the weight. The guard is just a fleeting moment to the stone, but to the guard, the stone is forever. It is the foundation of his peace. The wind outside has died down to a whisper. It strokes the walls of the castle. It tries to find a crack. It tries to find a loose stone. But the castle is tight. The castle is strong. The guard is safe inside the shell. He is the pearl in the oyster. The oyster is made of granite. The pearl is made of flesh and wool. The value of the pearl is the life. The guard protects the life. He hoards it. He keeps it warm. The night stretches out like a long black road. The guard travels the road without moving his feet. He travels in his mind. The destination is rest. The journey is boring. The boredom is the fuel. The guard burns the boredom to stay asleep. It is a clean fuel. It leaves no residue. The morning will be crisp and clear. But the morning is not here. The night is here. The guard loves the night. He loves the dark. He loves the quiet. He wraps them around him like a shroud. He buries himself in the comfort. He is gone. He is safe. He is asleep. The guard lies motionless in the deep well of the night where the only movement is the slow rise and fall of the gray wool cloak. The rhythm is tidal and constant like the lapping of water against a stone pier. The air in the room has settled into a perfect stillness that feels solid against the skin. The guard is encased in this stillness as if he were trapped in amber. He is preserved in the moment of rest. The cold of the castle walls presses inward, but it stops at the boundary of the cloak. The cloak is the line in the sand. The cold cannot cross it. The guard is safe on his island of warmth. The straw mattress beneath him has become warm from the friction of his existence. It holds the heat and reflects it back to him. It is a loop of energy that sustains him through the long hours. The guard does not think about the physics of the heat, he only feels the comfort of it. It is a deep and primitive comfort that goes back to the cave. The feeling of being hidden, the feeling of being covered, the feeling of being safe. The darkness is a soft hand over his eyes. It blocks out the need to see. It blocks out the need to watch. The guard is off duty in his mind. He has laid down the burden of vigilance. He has picked up the burden of sleep. It is a heavy burden, but a sweet one. It weighs him down into the floor. It anchors him to the earth. The stone floor is the foundation of the world. It is cool and hard and permanent. The guard trusts the stone. He rests his weight upon it without hesitation. The connection between the man and the stone is silent and ancient. The castle holds him. The night holds him. The sleep holds him. He is held from all sides. He is secure. The breathing continues its slow cadence. Inhale, exhale. The air enters cool and leaves warm. The body is a transformer. It turns the cold into heat. It turns the silence into life. The guard is a machine of survival running on the lowest setting. The lights are off. The motor is humming. The production is sleep. The output is rest. The guard is productive in his stillness. He is building the energy for the next day. But the next day is a distant concept. It is not real. Only the dark is real. Only the wool is real. The smell of the lanolin is a constant presence. It smells of the flock and the rain. It smells of the open sky. But here there is no sky. There is only the stone ceiling. The ceiling is lost in the shadows. It floats above him like a dark cloud. The guard does not look up. He looks inward. The landscape inside is calm and flat. There are no mountains to climb. There are no rivers to cross. There is only the plain of sleep. The guard walks across the plain. The grass is soft. The air is warm. He walks forever. He never arrives. He never leaves. He is just there, walking and sleeping, sleeping and walking. The paradox is soothing. The mind accepts it. The mind stops asking questions. The questions are heavy. The answers are heavy. The guard drops them all. He floats up. He sinks down. He is weightless. He is heavy. He is asleep. The wind outside taps on the wall. It is a polite wind now. It does not rage. It just waits. It waits for the guard to wake up. But the guard makes it wait. He is not ready. He has hours of sleep left. He has miles of silence to travel. He pulls the cloak tighter. He buries his nose in the wool. The scratchiness is home. The darkness is home. The sleep is home. The guard is home. The night begins to recede as the first true light of dawn touches the high towers of the castle. The guard remains in the deep valley of sleep, where the shadows are still long and protecting. The charcoal gray of the room shifts imperceptibly to a pale dove gray as the sun crests the distant hills. The air in the room is at its absolute coldest point of the 24-hour cycle. This is the moment the stone is coldest and the frost is thickest on the window ledge. But the guard is warmest. The fire of his life has burned steadily all night, and the heat has accumulated in the heavy wool fibers of his cloak. The wool has done its job perfectly. The straw has done its job perfectly. The system of insulation has held firm against the siege of the winter. The silence is breaking slowly, layer by layer. A rooster crows in the distance, a sharp sound that echoes off the stone walls of the courtyard. It is a signal of the change, but it does not shatter the peace of the guard room. The guard hears it in his dream and incorporates it into the texture of his rest. He is preparing to wake, but the waking is slow and hydraulic. It is not sudden. It is a gentle rising from the depths like a diver coming up for air. The pressure of the sleep decreases slightly. The heaviness of the limbs lifts just a fraction. But he holds on to the last few minutes with a quiet determination. These are the sweetest minutes of the night. The stolen minutes before duty calls and the sergeant bangs on the door. The castle is stirring to life around him. The smell of wood smoke from the kitchen fires begins to drift through the stone corridors and under the door. It enters the guard room and mixes with the smell of the wool and the dust. It smells of oak and pine and baking bread. The guard's nose twitches slightly as the scent reaches him. The body knows it is time. The hunger begins to wake up. But the sleep is still stronger than the hunger. The sleep holds him down for one last embrace. The wool cloak is heavy and faithful, and it has protected him through the long, dark watch. It is his armor against the elements, and it has served him well. The battle against the freezing death is won. The sun is rising. The enemy has retreated. The guard is the victor. He is alive. He is warm. He is rested. The stone floor feels solid and permanent beneath the mattress. The day will bring noise and movement and the cold wind on the battlements. It will bring orders and drills and the weight of the spear. But the guard is ready now. He has been recharged by the silence. The battery is full. The silence begins to fade as the castle wakes, but the peace remains. The peace is inside him now. He carries the night in his heart. He carries the warmth in his bones. The cycle is complete. The guard breathes in deep one last time in the quiet room. He breathes out slow and long. The sleep releases him gently. He is safe. He is warm. He is done.